What a strange day it is today. Let's get in and I'll start to explain. Welcome to ARMA Reforger. Now, if I don't sound as excited as I should be, well, there's a very big reason for that. I got COVID today, so I'm currently trying to finish all my work so that I can go lie down and die slowly. So this video will be me going through Reforger, showing off the game and pretty much going through any of the differences or cool things that this game has to offer, and the idea of what ARMA is going to be going forward. I'll show the menus later once I've gone a bit of the gameplay, and then at the end I've got some conflict gameplay, which is a game mode this game will be releasing with myself, Drewski, and Karma, and then I'll show you some of the combat in this game. So as you can see, the sun is out, it's a lovely day on Everon. Yes indeed, we're returning to Everon from ARMA Cold War Assault, and you can see the shadows are incredible. Actually, even better is the shadows over there, and yes indeed, you can point. You can, oh, hang on, I didn't realize the pointing actually moves with your alt, there we go. But before I show you this lovely game and the features it has to offer, I have to actually thank Bohemia, who for basically the first time in my experience has seriously included creators in the process of release and promotion of the game. We've had access to the game for a little while, they're taking our feedback, we're able to pre-record all that sort of stuff, which is actually the only time that's ever happened for an ARMA product before, for myself at least, was ARMA SOG Prairie Fire. Honestly, I'm just really glad to see Bohemia doing this and interacting with the community in a new way. So, let's show off the little arsenal here. Now, you may notice, we're looking at a DayZ-style inventory. Personally, I prefer this much to DayZ's. You have boots, which you can take off. There we go. The man is now in his tighty-whities. We'll put on a different hat, we'll put on some clothes again, and as you can see, clothes have got storage, pants have got storage, so it's no longer just vests, uniform, and backpack. One important thing to note is you're now able to carry 2 primaries and a pistol, which means that yes indeed, a rocket launcher is no longer its own special slot. The ultimate Chad of simply bringing 2 rocket launchers. So, let's show off the binoculars. Look at that. See, we're still holding our rifle, and if we put the binoculars away and pull out my flashlight, look at that, and then if I pull out my, the compass that I don't have, one moment. The compass that I now have, would you look at that, and we can even move that over to there, move it back, that sort of thing. Even pulling out the map is its own animation, and again, I also don't have a map. Here we go, open it up, and there's the map. It actually reminds me of the mod Immersive Maps, I think is what it's called from ARMA 3, which is something we use for back again. The thing I needed to show you with the binocs, if we look down here, look at a far distance. Just realized, we're going to need some actual sunlight, because currently the clouds are in front of the sun, which does indeed, if you notice on the hill over there, here you go, so right there's the edge, as you can see, it does indeed cast a shadow all the way down onto the ground. Now that it's sunny as hell, you can see one of the major changes is that shadows render at huge distances now, which is really important. One of the big downsides of ARMA having short shadow rendering was, as you can see, that forest is quite good for hiding in. It's quite dark, it's hard to see if someone was in there. In fact, I can demonstrate it by putting a Soviet in that forest over there. Somewhere in those woods is a Soviet rifleman. Can you see him? He's actually stood just there. As you can see, the contrast between light and dark makes a huge difference for camouflage. It is nearly impossible to see him unless he started opening fire, which is what we're about to do right now. We can change firing mode. What I'm going to do is show off some of the explosions as well. Here we go, so shoot that off. Oh, there he goes. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Ow, fuck. He nailed me. I think I got him. Alright, well, he did indeed hit me. But now I can go and select my bandage. There we go. And apply my bandage. And there we go. I am bleeding out and will eventually bleed out and die if I don't treat my wound. Another big change. I think I just jumped. Yes, indeed. Jumping is in. There is also, if we scroll wheel, and, oh, here we go. Let's go into third person. There is adjustable speeds for walking. I'm slowly increasing the scroll wheel here. Here we go. As you see, I'm picking up speed. There is an incredible amount of fine control in this system. It honestly reminds me of something like Sub Rosa. Now, I know I'm not a fan of EM, but there is indeed now this. There we go. You can climb things. Overall, the visuals are much improved, which is another big point. There we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Look at that. And look at the destruction as well. I suppose I should show off one here. This is a big upside that Squad has going for it that ARMA always rather lacked. Oh! Of course, without mods like JSRS and Blast Core, having beautiful explosions and damage effects like this was not exactly something Arma 3 featured in vanilla. Of course, you can crouch and lay down just as usual, but just like Arma 3 had, there is indeed a modular crouching system too. So there you go. You can slowly stand up. And what's really wild, what is truly impressive, is that you actually maintain your height when moving. In Arma 3, you snapped out of the specific stance mode when you started moving, although there was, I think, 2 stances that you could still move in. But for this, it seems every stance can indeed move. There you go. So if I was running alongside this little fence here, and I didn't want to get seen by my very obvious radar antenna, here we go, just go doot, 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 doot. There we go. A little bit more. We can still stand up. There we go. Look at that. Nice and covered. The enemy has no idea I'm here. I'm not going to do a complete every single feature in the entire game breakdown because there's actually a lot. But I will go over some major points, and one of them I'm quickly going over. Where are we? Come on, there's got to be one here. Here we go. Not quite what we want. We want this. There you go. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you can play this as war. Before we talk more about the game, I'd like to show off the vehicles as well, which is a big part of this release. Here we go. Look at that. Animation to get in. Just pulled off the handbrake. Let's say I had to figure out what way I was going to head. Could pull out my my compass. Look at that. You can actually even have your flashlight turned on inside of a vehicle. That's what we discovered while playing Conflict. Let's start the car. There we go. Look at that. Change gears as you drive. Let's slow down. There we go. Now I got to reverse. This is all very cool. You can switch seats like so, open the trunk in the back. But now, let's hop out of our vehicle. Here we go. And we're going to go check out the Humvee real quick. The way the turret currently works in the Humvee is that you can turn it, there we go, with the mouse, like so. But if you want to actually rotate the little ring, that's A and D. So there we go. I honestly really like this system. But let's try this thing out, shall we? Oh dear. Up in flames already. Is there some fences there? There we go. Cut these things down. There we go. Look at this. One thing I actually quite like is vehicles no longer instantly go to wrecked status. Instead, they generally have to burn out for a while before they'll turn into a wreck. A mere 1%. There we go. That's what they eventually turn into once they've been dealt lots of damage. This is big because one of my major complaints with vehicle gameplay in Arma 3 is that far too often vehicles would get hit with a single weapon and immediately catastrophically detonate every single time. Before we jump out of Game Master mode, I'll give you a quick sweep through the entity placing. As you can see here, we have the Soviets, the FIA, and the US. Here we go. So they all have their own kit. If we go to here, we've got vehicles as well. Here we go, flip through. On the Soviet side, there's the BTR-70, which I can drop down there real quick and show off. The BTR-70 is incredibly cool. There we go. Get in all those different seats. Oh yeah, let me show the commander's seat real quick. If I just hop in here. There we go. Commander's seat, from this position. Here we go. You can open up your little hatch at the front. There we go. But I'll switch around to the gunner instead. Here we are. And we can now open the turret stowage, which actually contains the ammunition the vehicle uses. It's no longer its own special mystical thing. Ammunition that is loaded into vehicles is a physical object that you can actually, if I had space, take out of the vehicle. And of course, oh yeah, I forgot you can shoot down street signs. Here we go. So there's trucks for all sides. There is some static weapons. There is the Ural, the UAZ, the Humvee, and the not Humvee, basically the Jeep. Vietnam era style Jeep. For characters, there's the standard assortment, automatic rifleman, grenadier, light AT, machine gunner, combat signaler. This guy has a radio, which I should actually show off real quick. God, I'm gonna have to keep showing off everything. Oh my god. I will endlessly get caught in a pattern of showing things off. So this character has a short-range radio and a long-range radio. I'm actually able to turn it on and adjust the radio frequency, and then I can transmit over radio. What this essentially means is T4AK is actually no longer needed by default. You can actually just play Arma with realistic radio simulation inside of the game. And that is very, very cool. I cannot describe to you how much I adore radios. In fact, I can. Do you know how much I adore radios? I made an entire video about how much I love radios. To force myself to go through the rest of this quickly, there are of course squads, there are vehicles, there are objects, there are systems, which is currently stuff like spawn points and arsenals and crates that you can get weapons out. Then there is also these. These are compositions. There you go, there's a little composition. You might have noticed though, there's slots around the place. What I can do with those is that. And look at that, just like that, it snaps into place. And what that means, the Game Master effectively, in just a couple of, honestly, probably a minute, can populate an entire town with checkpoints, small areas, you know, maybe an ammo dump, a main base over there, large slot, that sort of thing. And you can actually click on it as well. There we go. Large living quarters, and there you go. Small over here, ammunition supply point, nice. On the road up here, medium checkpoint. And look at that, all placed down, quick as can be. I think that system is really cool, and I think it's very helpful for Zeusers who want to knock together a mission really quick. Okay, I physically stopped myself from doing any more game mastering because I would just stay there forever. It's a very fun mode to play around in. Let's go through everything Reforger has to offer and what it actually is as a game. So, if you're not already aware, Reforger is actually the road to Arma 4. It's not Arma 4 itself, it's more of an Arma 3.5. It is indeed on the Infusion engine, and it is a whole rewrite, is a reforged Arma. But this game is being used as a testbed for the changes from Arma 3 to Arma Reforger. It's important to remember in game design that just because you developed something in the last game doesn't necessarily mean that you can simply just port it across and have it completely work in the next game. You know, games don't just infinitely grow their list of features. And in the case of Infusion, it was rewriting and remaking those features. This game is actually playable right now, so I'll go through what content there is and whether or not you yourself may want to play it. The current content in the game is mainly conflict mode. This is the primary game that's in the game right now. There is the tutorial, which is the only single player content, and the Game Master, which I guess you could say is single player content, but you know, you have to make your own battles. I'll talk about why probably I'm not going to recommend this to the pure co-op people for now, but I would recommend it to anyone who just really likes Arma, and more importantly, quite enjoys the PvP, because there is currently a focus on that for this game. The main reason I wouldn't recommend this for purely co-op players at the moment is because the AI currently is not where it needs to be. For instance, they can't drive vehicles, I've often seen their movement get stuck, and their spotting seems a little unrefined to me right now. For instance, in daylight it seems they can spot you pretty much anywhere, and at nighttime I was quite literally in the conflict game mode walking up to AI and shooting them in the face and they couldn't find me. It's important to note that devs, of course, are working on that. That's not the AI that they're going to release with, it's just the AI that they have at the moment for the testing. So if you are a pure co-op player at this point, given that this is the only single player content you really have, I guess you can play Conflict and play it on your own against, they have your standard FIA soldiers who hold the points before either side has captured them. But personally, I wouldn't recommend it. The game mode is quite clearly intended for multiplayer. So that's your play menu, and of course, multiplayer is multiplayer. Game Master is what I was just showing you. It is the Zeus game mode, essentially. Then down here, we have a few different things. We have the field manual, which is stayed over from Arma 2 and 3. Got one there. Settings, of course. Then we have scenarios, which include conflict, Game Master, and the tutorial. There is currently not a mission editor. However, there is the workbench, which I will talk about once we get to that at the end. That's quite important, actually. But for now, at least, there's nothing equivalent to the Eden editor in the game. The workshop is actually something quite important. One thing I'll bring up here is that it used to be full of mods, but I assume that they've cleared them out for the official release, which is coming soon. But there you go, I've downloaded a capture and hold game mode from Bohemia. This is not the Steam workshop. This is just a workshop of its own, of Bohemia's own making, because mods can be loaded onto consoles. Yes, indeed, the game is intended to be available on PlayStation in the future and is currently available on both PC and Xbox Series X/S. I'll address the elephant in the room because it's something I've seen, is that people are afraid simply that including consoles will mean they will dumb down the game. Well, yeah, no. Thus far, the controls are actually, if anything, well, I will not say more complex than Arma 3, but there's more of them than Arma 3. There's more fine detail to it. There are things like controlling your fine movement, you know, the fact that you can switch items in your hands in and out and then lift them up to your face, like that sort of stuff. There's so many buttons, and and the context menu, of course, for interacting with various objects rather than the action menu. There's a lot of stuff. And of course, something people need to remember, of course, is DayZ is on consoles as well, and that is running on the same engine and with a similar, but I wouldn't say the same, menu system to what ARMA Reforger has. So yeah, I'm very much not afraid of that, and honestly, I think it's quite cool that not only will they be putting it on consoles, which means, you know, a new generation of people coming into the game. Again, remembering that ARMA is effectively a niche game, despite the fact that I love it and I play it all the time, and, you know, everyone involved in it plays it loads. There's many people who play nothing but ARMA. But it remains a niche title. So having those people included, and especially having them have access to mods, is pretty insane. So before I wrap up the talking section and move over to myself, Drewski, and Karma playing Conflict, I wanted to mention a few things that aren't in the game yet. Things that you know, normal questions to ask, you know, what is this in the game? Now, I can't mention anything that's coming in the future, so I can't say whether I know that it's being added or whether it's not, etc. Because, of course, I'm under NDA with Bohemia, and no, they've been very quite nice to include us in this process, so I don't want to piss them off and say things I shouldn't be allowed to say. However, in the current release version of the game, there is no helicopters, no jets. There's no air units currently at all. There is no boats, but apparently the BTR is amphibious, and in fact, as we talk, I will simply go test this, because I think I've never tested the BTR's amphibiousness. There is no tracked vehicles currently. That is something I noted, because there is the BTR for the Soviets and the Humvee for the Americans, but there is no armored equivalent that the USA currently has. Look at that suspension system. There we go, we are amphibious after all. Uh-oh. Another thing that's missing currently is that there is no artillery, no mortars or howitzers rather currently in the game. I really do hope those will be added quite quickly, as they are a big part of a military simulation game. They are a rather major part. Myself and a few others adore our indirect fire. I'll quickly show off Conflict and explain the game mode. So it is a PvP game mode. There is the US and Soviet Army. Those are the two factions. You need to capture all enemy bases. You need to reconfigure the enemy's radio's communications and defend your main operating base. So I'm going to pick US Army. There we go. I'm now the Atlas White. I am on this radio net. That's the intended net, at least. I'll join that group. There we go. The map is very interactive. There's your objectives. There's the radio net. There's various information about the game mode as well. See here? There's a supply depot with this many supplies. Oh yes, there's supplies. This is the big thing I love. I really want to mention this. There's an armory, a vehicle depot, a motor pool. There's the radio net for this place as well. And up in the north is the enemy's HQ. So, I'll deploy at the base. There we go. Here's some AI wandering around, doing their job. Motor pool, give me a supply truck, thank you. Very cool. Is it within range, actually? Yes, it is. There you go. So, much like Squad, and indeed much like Persist, which I wrote based on Squad, you can load your truck full of supplies. Now, you can then deliver those supplies to locations in this game mode and build defenses with them. You can also build things like armories, motor depots, etc., and upgrade the bases as time goes on. Alright, I think that is about it. I could literally go on for days just finding like little feature after little feature after little feature. Like the fact that you can hold the flashlight in your hand with it on, or you can put it back on your chest, and then when it's back on your chest, it actually runs around and like tilts with your body as you move. The lighting is incredible, and you'll see some of that in the Conflict gameplay myself and the others did. But there's one really little dumb, very cool thing that I realized in the testing. So this is a burst fire M16. Watch this, right? Burst, that's a 3-round burst, okay. But watch this. That was a 1. And there's 1. And there's 1. And if we hold it again, there's 3. And if I go... There's 3. Oh, hang on, let's... And then... There's 2. But now if I hold it down, there's only 1. So yes, you can partial burst fire your weapons. There's a load of cool shit like this in the game, but for now, I'm gonna leave you be. I'm gonna go get in bed and die slowly, because COVID sucks, I feel like shit, and just so you know, this entire time I've been dressed up like Ryan Gosling. I ain't even joking, I told you I was speedrunning my work for the week. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you be. Enjoy. Hold your horses, not so fast. I gotta show off the workbench first. So this is the launcher. We've got the project here, which I've already got, and I can make a new one there. We're just gonna open up my old one. There we go. And this is essentially the tools that you need to edit Reforger at its core. It's not like ARMA, where ARMA there was some features that you simply couldn't edit or couldn't get into or couldn't interact with. Some were hard-coded. When it comes to Reforger and Infusion and ARMA going forwards, they've made modding a lot easier. Look at all this beautiful stuff. You've got the world editor, particle editor, animation editor, script editor, audio editor, behavior editor, procedural... What is this one? Procedural animation editor. There you go. String editor, you have all of this lovely stuff, and apparently you can pretty much do everything from here. You can, anything that you want to do in ARMA, so whether it's making models or making worlds or, scripting or making missions, apparently can be all done from here. I would make a mission and knock together to show you off if I knew how to. Unfortunately, I don't actually know how this works right now, and I'll need the documentation and a bit of time to learn it. But I'll quickly show off the world editor. Here we go. Very much reminds me of the days screwing around in Unity. But yeah, this looks powerful, it looks cool, and I cannot wait to see what modders do with it. And I also can't wait to go through the pain of learning it, because it looks complex. And now I'll actually leave you. Enjoy the gameplay. Is there a direct talk key, or is it always through the radio?
T. T is
oh,
in Tetris.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you.
So if I'm over here...
Oh.
It's just raw audio, right? Oh, no, there is.
No,
okay,
no,
so
sorry, okay, it's, there's no radio filter
cool.
if you're next to someone. That's cool.
Yep, that's nice. That's really
Hello?
nice. Oh, and
oh, that's so cool!
Fades into radio.
Oh, watching you guys get in is awesome. Yeah, holy hell.
So much better.
Alright, Karma, you good to navigate for me?
Yes.
Oh, look at his map out! That's so cool! Alright, we're headed east, well, east-southeast out of town. What the fuck?
Shot in front right.
Alright. Let's... out of the vehicle. Yeah, those are distant. Oh, I'm hit.
Karma, check right, check right.
Oh, Karma's down.
Got him.
Holy hell, I saw him drop. That was fucking cool. Karma, you reading us on radio?
Yeah, freaking clap.
Yeah, we'll wait here for you, mate. Grab another Vic. Oh, shit. Can't.
I don't think you can climb that one. I think it's a little bit.
Damn it. Really had to try.
Daisy Chinaris hole over here, though.
Holy shit, look at that smoke.
Lighting, too. Where's the smoke?
Hang on.
From that hut. I see it.
Yeah, pretty much direct north. That smoke is incredible. That looks beautiful. Oh. He's down, he's down. I'm hearing AI voices.
It was English. Frag out.
Frag out.
Frag out.
Oh! He lived! He lived!
Out of 10. Got him. Into the 10. In the brush.
Drewski, to your right, to your right. Sorry, left, sorry. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm in the tent now.
Dude, run out of the trees, goddamn. Over here, guys, I got a construction area. We got 775 supplies here.
All stations, this is Alpha Main. An auxiliary repair depot has been constructed
go.
in Point, Alabama. Out.
I'm gonna go see if they have furniture like they said. Hey, you.
Forger life? Question mark? Question mark?
Oh, God. Holy shit. Look at this. This is sexy. Look at the lighting coming in the window. Holy shit. That is probably... Yeah, that's a player. But is that... who? Which dev is that?
Wait, that's gonna be an op 4.
Hey, he's turning the gun. Move. Hey, you got that law?
I wish I didn't waste all my 18.
I just shot him through his front window. Shouldn't have left your window open, mate.
Yeah, I forgot that.
It's on BTR now, boys.
Okay.
Oh, our BTI, hell yeah. Oh yeah, I see. Oh, hold.
Wait, it's right there.
God, the gun sounds good. Oh, careful! Someone got out of the top of the BTI. I nearly shot you. Oh shit!
Is this you?
Hi.
Who is this?
I need a bandage.
Oh my gosh.
I'm bleeding severely. Karma, take it out and then press R. Dude, running around with the flashlight on your chest is nuts. That's very cool. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't see, and I just realized my light is on my light is on inside of the vehicle. Not like the vehicle lights, my actual flashlight.
You... Oh.
I think I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see it on your chest.
I've figured out how to be invulnerable. If you just lie down in the darkness, the AI are so blind they can't see you. Two AI just walked on top of me and couldn't detect me. I shot them and they still couldn't detect me. But alright. Alright, cheers playing, lads. I'll see you around.